Okay, welcome everybody to the June 9th Licensing Commission meeting at 6 p.m. in City Hall. First up is the adoption of the minutes of the May 12th meeting. Motion to adopt? Great. Can I get a second? Okay, all in favor? Great. And then
Clerk's update,
Naomi?
is this on? Yeah. So, as you know, we did an RFP process for the new liquor licenses that we received based on the census. We've only received one proposal that we are seeking to put on the July meeting. But we are requesting an extension of the RFP. I think a lot of people had questions. Just put on the record, we've requested people to tell us why they're different than what we already have in Chelsea. It was about diversity and changes and different areas in the city of Chelsea to issue these all alcohol licenses and 2 beer and wine licenses. And they're all on premise, they're not package store licenses. So we are probably gonna go back out and hopefully by September we'll get more proposals. Okay. So we do have a proposal to present to you at the next meeting, plus their application for, I believe it's all alcohol? All alcohol. So what you may or may not know is that every June is the renewal season for Hackney licenses, the taxi companies and the Hackney drivers. We really haven't had anybody really apply. So let me just explain to you, we've been laxed because the companies, it's very difficult to find a lot in Chelsea because of zoning to park vehicles overnight. And now that Reggie's is no longer a repair shop where half of them parked at night or had their offices, because it's now an apartment building, they've had problems with where to place these vehicles overnight and where to have their offices. Our ordinances are very strict. It's not the rules and regulations. I believe it's the ordinances that says that in order to have a taxi company, you have to have an office in Chelsea. But that's not the way taxis work anymore. It's all by cell phone. And some of the dispatchers are even drivers, right? So we may be proposing before the city council and hopefully before you guys a more relaxed renewal process for Hackneys. We clearly only taxis can be in the taxi stands. We have 2, the one downtown and we have the one at Market Basket. But we have so many gypsy taxi drivers, and to force them to do something but not a livery or someone else, we're trying to make sure everybody's making a living. So we've been a little laxed. We are gonna start having the traffic division of the police department to just remind the Hackney drivers, because we have to have safe drivers on the road, to renew their licenses. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
I wanted to give you that update. And this is probably my idea more than anyone else's, but this is a discussion just over the past few years as to, we do not issue nightclub licenses. We do not have a nightclub use in our rules and regulations or do the city councils or the city ordinances. But we allow dancing by patrons. That's a nightclub. When you have music, whether it's live or a DJ, and you have dancing by patrons, that's a nightclub. And we want to issue new rules and regulations if you have that amusement and entertainment as to dancing by patrons. Well, we've already ruled that staff should not be dancing, but we want to change those rules and regulations, so we are going to move it to a public hearing where the restaurants and the bars can come and speak to us about these new rules and regulations. We're just thinking about, we want police there. It's getting a little crazy at these restaurants at night. And they all spill out into the public way where there's tons of music and noise going on and disrupting the neighborhoods. So we are gonna try to set up some rules similar to other cities and towns, is that if you want an amusement entertainment license, and mind you, they all expire every December 31st. If they want that January 1 of 2023, they're gonna have to comply and come before you for that particular, we're gonna call it like a nightclub sub-license, so that they could have dancing. We have literally, I believe they're before you tonight, one bar that actually follows the rules on security and have the red shirts. So I'm just saying is that we need to start enforcing this so that we know who's security. And, you know, there's gonna be a lot of recommendations before you if they wish to have dancing by their patrons. And then, I thought we had one more issue. The last issue is gonna be, and we'll wait until later, is about the July 21st date. We may have an issue with that. I might as well bring it up tonight. It's about the carnival. There is gonna be another carnival for nonprofits, you know, to raise money for nonprofits. One
In
started
the Home
today.
Depot, in the Home Depot lot? That-
It's gonna be in the Home Depot
Yeah.
lot, but they wanna start July 21st, and our next
We need to
meeting
do an
is
emergency.
tentatively scheduled. We didn't wanna do a special meeting, so we're hoping to do the next meeting on July 14th, if we can get a quorum for July 14th.
Do you
Just
want
think
us-
about it, at the end of the
okay.
night, we can figure that out,
Okay.
okay?
Right, thank you. Okay, first agenda item, public hearing to consider an amusement entertainment license application for Lime Chelsea, Inc. at 73 I'm so sorry, I always forget this, Winnissimette, tell me how to say it. Not born and raised here, clearly. Chelsea, thank you. Come on up. Can you state your name and address?
Petal Joseph Seal, Lime.
Can you speak a little bit closer? Can you guys hear?
Petal Joseph Seal,
Ah,
Lime.
thank you.
I'm applying for an extended A&E for dancing, but it's not really a club. It's for, we want to stimulate more business, so we want to do trivia, musical bingo, perhaps have like a speakeasy sort of theme in the lower level, where there's no standing room only, it's by reservations or walk-in, but we seat maybe like 40 down there, and we wanted to have a singer singing jazz and what have you down there. I applied for dancing so that if somebody wants to get up and, you know, swing a little bit with their selves or whatever, that's what the dancing is for. It's not for a club or anything remotely close to that. We also want to do weddings and small events like that in the restaurant, and so I applied for those kinds of permissions, I guess, permits,
Mhm.
what have you.
Questions from the commission? Commissioners?
I'm looking at the floor plan. I don't see any space really for someone to dance.
Exactly.
So,
No,
they're
so,
gonna,
so it's for if somebody wants to get it by their table. I'm not setting up a dance floor or anything like that. I just didn't want to get in trouble if somebody comes by and they see someone dancing. So I wanted to just apply for someone to dance if they want to get up by their tables and dance. There's no dance floor. There's nothing set up for a club environment, a fete, any kind of fete like that. It's just to basically cover myself in case
Right, so no dance floor.
there's a situation. And so that's what this is about. It's about bringing money in, having catered events, parties, and those kinds of things. Not, but smallish parties. It's not a club. I'm a restaurant. I'm not a club owner. It's like, and so that's not the direction that I have any intentions of going. So.
So I'm trying to figure it out, and forgive my ignorance, but I need to ask you, Cheryl, should this discussion in terms of the granting a permit to do that be left for 2023? Because we're trying to figure out what to do in terms of a nightclub, or just allow the music and not the sort of like nightclub? Because what she's explaining would be sort of like having a permit to dance, that would be a nightclub, right? Because that's where we go for dancing.
So, right now, we allow them,
Okay?
and this would be until December 31st if you adopt new regulations.
Okay,
So she'd be
okay.
able to do that
So-
till December 31st. But however, and it's come to my attention that this particular location has to close Sunday through Wednesday at 10 p.m. and Thursday through Saturday at 11:30. The special permit for that particular unit was very specific.
Yeah.
Because there are neighbors who live very
Upstairs.
close and upstairs. So the entertainment and the dancing would have to end those particular hours because of the neighbors.
But does the restaurant have to close at that time?
Actually, it was supposed to close at that
Right,
time.
because my
based on the
comment-
Special permit.
My common fitula and my liquor license says 12 o'clock.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but we received a copy of the special
Right,
permit.
Naomi
Yeah.
sent that to me yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
understand that.
So the individual who got the use, who got it
Right.
allowed through the zoning board, got it allowed, but there were specific conditions on the permit. I
Right.
don't know if you saw those before you purchased it.
I read it yesterday.
Oh,
I
okay.
read it last night.
Okay.
It's because there's residences,
It's
right?
because
Yeah.
of the residences, not just above it, right behind it, down the street.
Yeah,
People, there used to be, the neighbors came out and were very upset there was gonna be another restaurant / liquor being served at that corner. So they have a time limit, and the special permit was never given to the licensing. So
Right.
once we received it, that's why I said we should probably let you know in advance that they have to be revised to reflect what's allowed use in that particular structure, unfortunately.
Right. Any kind of music or the speakeasy or what have you was never going to go up until 12. It was always going to be around 10 or so. Like I said, I have no intentions of having a nightclub or any kind of club situation.
Mhm.
It's just not part of my,
So
My
if
plan.
she's looking to change, because these are zoning's hours that were
Right.
approved for that property, so would she have to go to the
She
zoning
would have
board
to
to get
change
approval
those
for?
hours from the zoning board. We cannot change them at the licensing commission, but we can issue her licenses pursuant to those hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's
until-
what you're, yeah,
yeah.
that's what
Okay.
you're asking for, correct, yeah.
And then if you change the ZBA's decision, we would automatically just change her hours because you've already granted it
Yeah.
to her.
To be honest, the only time that I would require or ask for it would be for Olia's, New Year's Eve.
So we still can't extend, so that's weird. The licensing commission can extend and usually does do it New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, though, the use of that building,
Right, the
you
zoning.
being inside of it
Right.
after 10 PM on a Wednesday night is against the zoning. It's not against licensing, it's the zoning, unfortunately.
So I would have to go through zoning.
You have to go to zoning. I recommend you call John DePreez.
Yes, I will.
Okay, so it might be a minor alteration, I don't
Right.
know, but it could be, you should call him or seek legal counsel.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say that
Hmm?
can we make a decision?
Yeah, well, I just, is there any,
Yes.
from the public, anyone want to speak on behalf or? And then Captain, I'll just ask the police too. Do you guys have any comments on this? Any thoughts?
No, the previous location never had issues.
Yeah.
I just worry about dancing. I know she's doing it for the right reason, not to be in trouble,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem to be set up
I
for
worry-
dancing.
It's
The
not.
downstairs is a beautiful room.
Yeah.
You can have a speakeasy. I was just in Nashville at a speakeasy where the people sang, but there was no one dancing. I
Right.
do like the concept, but I just think if you let it go for there, every restaurant and bar is gonna come in, well, we wanna be covered in case. And when 2 people get up to dance, that means 4, 6, 8, the room.
And by the way, the dancing in the means of egress, I have a problem with that. There's no space for them
Yeah,
to
it's kind of a
dance.
tough look, the downstairs is a beautiful room, but I
It's
think
nice,
there's
but
one
there's no
way,
space- there's
the
no dance
elevator
floor.
and the staircase, right, to get, it's kind of,
Yeah.
no windows, I haven't been in since you took over. But that's our concern, that you'll have everybody coming up trying to protect themselves, saying, what if they get up and dance? But that's just my view, nothing against the business, or the previous business that was there. I thought the business was run very well, and the building's beautiful.
So if that's, can I just ask a question?
Yep.
So if I'm not approved for the dancing then, and someone gets up by their table and just like do a little thing, what happens then? Do I tell them? Do I have my servers or
I think
whomever
you have
say,
to
you need to
police
sit down?
yourself. I think you have to just say, please, we have no dancing.
Okay.
I mean, you police yourself. That would be, if my officers went, that's what I would tell them if they witnessed it. Like, it's your responsibility. That's what I would tell. I think that's what Officer Santiago would tell you if
Okay.
he went there.
I have a question, though. If you're expecting to hold weddings, there's going to be some dancing, so you should, for your protection, ask for the dancing. But I agree, like, within the zoning hours, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Right.
But just to get the dancing just for your protection.
Yeah, the thing is that I want to be able to stay in business. I want to be able to have events there. And some people might want to dance. Will I have a dance floor set up like everyone who's been in my space knows there's no place to set up for dancing? But sometimes, I don't know, sometimes people make a space, you know, and so it's, but yes, I would like to
But it's
have.
a restaurant, though, so.
It is a restaurant.
There's really nothing, we could do it unless you want to
Yeah.
change your whole business.
Nope, I don't. I want to have a restaurant. I don't want it to be anything other than a restaurant
Okay.
that has, that can have events, that catered events and functions.
Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. You want to do trivia, that's fine. You want to have a DJ. The last person that had a DJ was run well before, but there's no dance floor, so I can't, I'd be remiss as a building inspector to vote for a dance floor when there is no space for it, and people are going to be dancing who knows where, and in the aisles and places where they're not supposed to, so I'm okay with the entertainment, the music, if you want it, even the DJ, but not dancing.
Is that a motion? Motion to allow all except dancing, dance floor,
Yes.
dancing by patrons.
There's a question.
Yeah, can you go in front of the mic? Thank you.
So I just have a quick question on that. If we were to close down the restaurant and have the entire space taken over by an event, like a wedding or a shower or a birthday party, there is room on the first floor where there could be a small dance floor between the bar and our community table. Will that be a problem? And that's really another question that we wanted to cover.
So we do have special event licenses, so it would be a one-time event that you could do,
Okay,
just so that we can approve it as a one-time event.
okay,
We issue those through the licensing department. We are working on an ordinance and eventually rules and regulations, so we do allow them.
okay.
And we understand that sometimes a restaurant can turn into a function hall, basically, right? Because we don't have those here. And so you would seek a special event license for the actual entertainment and differences that you would be having.
Okay, for that one day only.
For that one day.
Okay.
It's online. It's online.
But
Thank you.
will you administratively issue it?
We administratively issue those now,
So you
as
don't have to
long
go
as
in front
it's
of the
not 10 days in a row, like at the carnival or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
3 weekends, okay.
So maybe that's the best compromise.
That's the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
So does anyone want to second Mike's motion?
I like the special event, so I'll
Mhm.
second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Just remember to go to zoning.
Yeah, go to zoning.
Thank you.
Motion to allow all.
Okay, public hearing to consider a special alcoholic beverage license, off-premise beer garden application for Bear Moose Theater, at 189 Winnismet Street, Chelsea.
Commissioners, this is an application for a beer garden. What you don't have before you is the special event license that Apollinaire Theater has done. I don't know if you recall, they did
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet outside.
Yeah.
They had a beer garden. They had 2 weekends last year. I believe this year they're doing 3 weekends.
Great.
And this is the company that is seeking the beer garden
Yeah.
license.
And I think last time, I think the hours, are we doing the same type of hours? I feel like it was 9 or 10 that was like serving, I can't remember.
The hours were, what?
Instead of 9:30, they were asking for 10:30.
Yeah, 10:30 this year.
Okay. Can you state your name and?
Allison McCarthy with the Apollinaire Theater Company.
Andrew Gilman with Bear Myth Burn. And we're requesting the one-day liquor license for the dates of the 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th, 19th, and 20th between the hours of 5 and 10:30.
Great. Any questions from the commissioners?
What were the hours again?
5 to 10:30.
And it was like 10:30, by 10:30, it was like,
Done.
and you guys were good about that last time, I remember.
So let you know, beer garden rules and regs, there will be food, I believe they could buy and bring it outside to eat from the businesses around. We have an area that has to be cornered off, the police
Mhm.
department is aware. And It went well last year.
It's more or less like what the Boston Foundation did recently, but
A little bit like that,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
But they actually had the play going on so that people could see the,
Awesome.
the
Okay.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was last year, it went really well.
Yeah.
I forgot, is there a rain, what happens if it rains outside? Do you have a rain plan, or?
Where we typically still hold the event.
Oh, you do, okay.
Yeah.
Public, anyone want to speak? Captain?
No, I think it went well last year. I believe we had 2 officers. It wasn't mostly for their patrons, it was for some of the other people in the neighborhood, trying to.
It's right by your office too, so,
Get an acting part without,
yeah.
so I believe I put that in the notes, the
Mhm.
city notes, and it's fine with the hours to overlap, so we will be there while they break down.
Great.
I move,
Motion?
yeah,
Okay.
I motion.
Anyone a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public hearing to consider a change of manager of all kinds of alcohol, license application for El Hielo Corporation at 425 Eastern Ave.
Just need your microphone. Good evening, how are you?
Good.
Attorney Jeffrey Rosario Turco for the applicant.
Yep.
So this is for El Cielo, and it's simply to change the manager. This is a family-owned business. Juan has been the assistant manager since 2007 at the premises, and we're simply looking to make him the manager of the business.
Questions? Questions? No? Anyone from the public? Captain?
No, the procedure, the Corey checks that we perform were fine on both ends of what they're here for.
Great. Okay, motion, second? Second, all in favor? Aye. Great, thank you.
Thank you. You
Thank
can
you.
sit and, Dad, come on up.
Public hearing to consider a transfer of a wine and malt beverage alcohol on premise license application from the Pasta Box to El Kiosco Corporation, and amusement entertainment license application at 212 Broadway.
Correct. Again, Attorney Jeffrey Rosario Turco for the applicant. If I may approach, and I have the affidavit of service on the abutters. There were 121 on the abutters list, 111 distinct. They were all served certified return receipt. The United States Postal Service workers were not happy with the Chelsea License Commission's requirement, as it took them 1 hour to do it. May I?
Yeah, you can just leave it on the table.
These are called copies of menus as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, thank you. No.
Thank you. Yeah. There's copies if you want.
Just to remind you, this is a beer and wine only license that the Pasta Box has had.
Yeah, it's a small space
Mhm.
too.
Yes, the occupancy is 19.
Yeah. Any questions from the commissioners?
If I could make one comment on the entertainment license, I looked electronically. I think we asked for 7 days, 3 to 11, but they will be closed on Mondays. So we're only looking for 3 to 11, Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay. Captain, any thoughts?
I'm sorry, he was asking me a question about the curtains on the property. The former restaurant was easy to see, and even though we don't have a technical licensing requirement, we are putting together in the police department. It's also aesthetically more pleasing for anybody who wants to go in. I have not looked at what the officer's talking about. Officer Santiago, once you
Yeah, sorry,
explain.
the plane
We
is
can't
hard to
hear
hear you.
you.
Could you speak
Can you hear me?
closer
I'm
to the
sorry.
mic? Yeah.
Officer Santiago brought up a question about currently the blockage of view from the street level. The previous place you could see in, it's a process that we're trying to bring before the board about having a standard, unless it's sun emitting, that we have some type of filtered shades that's more aesthetically for safety reasons. I have not looked at it. If you want to explain why you brought that up.
Officer Santiago, Chelsea Police Department. I've been noticing through the restaurants and /bars owners and they're covering their windows either with menus or curtains, so, and also blinders. If the business is gonna be open, we need to be able to see inside for safety reasons for the occupants inside, or for officers, they have to go in to respond to something. I know I spoke to Juan already with his dad. They're aware they have the heavy curtains. When business is open, they will have them to the side so we can see. As throughout the city, that's something where I think the captain and the rest of the unit is just looking into. That's part of the thing that we're gonna have to address.
Thank you. Do you want to respond to?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, I have the curtains because we don't want anybody to look at what we've done to the place.
Okay.
But the idea is to have those windows completely open because we actually love the view that people can see us and the people that are inside can see everything.
That makes sense.
Great
becau-
window.
That
view.
makes total sense.
love
That's
it.
common when renovations are going on. They even
Yes,
tape
that's
it
why I
completely
have
up.
those curtains.
I had
mean,
not
they
looked.
will stay because, I mean, they're nice, but just like when we close, obviously at night, we'll move them. But we're not gonna take away that view. That's, we want it.
Right. Any other questions? Nope. Anyone want to make a motion? Motion, second?
I was just gonna quickly
Oh, yeah,
ask,
sorry.
when you are hoping to open.
We,
5 minutes?
yes, 3.
I mean, literally, as soon as, we had the discussion about assuming we're approved tonight, they still have to go to the ABCC, but they may move forward with actually opening without the liquor license, so they can get going.
I actually wanted to see if there's a possibility, now that I'm in front of the board, to see if there's any special permit to be able to, open, not selling alcohol, but just like a soft opening, and me providing them like wine, like sangria or
So
anything.
that's a one day that you would have to apply for, right?
So
Yeah.
Cheryl, before you were here, we used to have that, as long as the alcohol was given away and not charged, they allowed it. That's what we used to do in the old days.
Just like a
Doesn't-
soft opening.
That was, I've been here, what, almost 19 years?
I can name the first hotel had it.
I
the
know.
Chandelier
And a
had it
lot
for
of
a
people do
bunch.
these soft openings. I prefer, if you don't want to get in trouble, we have a one-day liquor license online, and we'll allow you to do it while you're pending for that soft opening.
Administrative.
But you could,
allow multiples.
we won't allow multiples, so it'd just be that one day, because under state law, you shouldn't have multiples. But you can have the food and the music when Naomi can get to it. But just saying is that you could do a soft opening, but you'd have to do a one day to have alcohol served.
Can they charge that or no charge?
There's nothing in the state law about charging and not charging. It's about service of alcohol.
Okay.
A lo que esperan por la licencia.
¿Perdón?
A lo que esperan por la licencia.
Por si esperamos la licencia, solamente dan un día.
Sí, un permiso especial a lo que esperan por la licencia.
And if you want seats outside, you could apply for the outdoor seating too, since it's the summertime. Goes till November, December.
I did apply.
Oh, okay,
Did-
okay.
I don't know if I want to know if I got approved for that.
I approved the plan, but I don't know, I don't know if Pam approved. They did a new plan. Did you upload the new plan? The new one?
I took it in
I
everything.
approved it, but.
Let's look at that up. We'll look at it too. Need a motion.
I think that's a yes vote.
Motion to
Yeah,
approve?
so Gladys made a motion, seconds?
Second.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Continued public hearing to consider a change from Latino Falcon to Nocturnal, change of hours from opening at 5 PM, change to opening earlier at 1 PM, and an amusement entertainment license for Mo Brothers DBA Nocturnal, 158 Broadway. Hi, guys.
And you can do number 7
Okay,
also.
number 7, can we do 6 and 7 at the same time?
Yeah.
Because that was the alteration of premises, because that was my fault.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
having
yeah.
an extra bar and it's.
Oh, right, the
they're
upstairs,
saying-
yeah. Okay, so, well, oh, sorry, do you want me to read that officially?
Yeah.
Also, public hearing to consider an alteration of premise application for Mo Brothers DBA Nocturnal at 158 Broadway. Great. Can you guys state your name?
Hi, my name is Nelson Molina. I'm from 51 Marlborough Street in Chelsea.
Hi, my name is Andrea Perez with Rose Consulting Group.
Great, thank you. So this is a continuation of our conversation. So anything you guys want to say at first?
I mean, overall, those situations that that were brought to us, I mean, we basically fixed. I mean, the parking, I already told all the companies that they can't park in the back. And then I talked to the couple and Liz that were here last time about the noise.
Yeah.
I redid all the wiring, and I bought smaller speakers. And throughout this whole time, I've been texting them, and they told me that they don't hear anything.
Great.
That's why they're not
So that's
here.
resolved.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank
So I think the other question we had was, so the application for the amusement was, it was like a live band. There were a few things in there, right? It was a DJ, it was a live band.
It's dancing.
Dancing. So I think that was maybe for the commissioners. I'm curious what your questions are around that.
I mean, we already had that in our license before.
Pardon?
We had all
it.
that in our license before.
Yeah.
So let's be clear, this is a bar
Yeah.
/ restaurant, not a function hall. And they have had dancing they've had most of the entertainment all along.
It's been grandfathered in,
It's,
right?
well, until December 31st. If we change
Yeah.
the rules, everybody's pretty much has it until December 31st anyway. Yeah. But they are the one bar that has the security shirt says to the rules. They're the bar that follows that particular regulation.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I do have a question. So, yes, you're the only bar that actually follows about the security rules. Who are you using for your security?
We actually hire our own personnel.
Who is it?
We actually hire our own personnel.
Who's that?
No, like we hire our own people.
Your own people, your
Yeah.
own security, okay.
Yeah, and they go through a training. And,
They go to a training, can you
yeah.
provide their certificate that they've gone through training?
Yeah, I could give that to you. I mean, you guys last time were doing something about that we needed to bring IDs and all their information
Yeah,
through
we're
the.
not doing, I just talked with the captain. The police department are not doing the background checks on the security companies that you guys hire. That's
Okay.
on you. But just for your own purpose, if you hire an outside agency that's security, you want to make sure that the security guard or security company is legit certified. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? With that being said, the Falcons is the only one obeying the rules when it comes to security, wearing the red shirts. Every other restaurant and bar, I don't know who's security. You know,
Yeah.
and then every time I go do an inspection, they're like, oh, I need to wear that. So we have a certain security company in the city that we're using that now obeying the city ordinances and stuff.
Yeah,
like
we don't like using them either because
Okay.
it's always a
Alright.
problem with them.
But, yeah, and there has been no complaints. I've been checking out. If there was, I would have contacted Nelson already. So far, knock on wood, you guys are legit.
Thank you.
doing it.
Have you ordered the door for the
Yeah,
back?
yeah, it's supposed to come November. I said it last time.
Yeah.
We
Well,
ordered
last
it.
time I think you said you were going to order it, and
No,
it
it was on back
probably
order.
wasn't going to be in until November?
Yeah, it's going to be in November. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Anyone from the public want to speak? City councilor?
Roy Reginetta, City Councilor at Large, 325 Commandant's Way, and I just, again, the concerns in speaking to the residents that were in the back, a couple of things. One, I have to question, they brought up the thing about the parking lot. Is it a regulation, Mike, that the parking lot, the complaints from the neighbors about the overflow and packing, and whether or not that's a fire code violation if someone ever had to get out and you have cars jam-packed? Isn't it required that the parking lot be lined so that it actually has the spacing that is allowed according, or are you just or is the city just allowing this whole, jam-pack as many
It's like a
cars?
million years old, right?
How's that?
On new parking lots, you definitely have to stripe it, but I think this has been
Well,
here forever.
I'm just curious if
I don't
was
even
it-
think it's pavement. I think it's just rocks or grass,
Right, I mean, I'm just saying, at any point for the occupancy, did they not ever say they had to space the lines so that this jam, because I can imagine in my mind, an emergency, and if there's a fire or anything like that, and you've packed the parking lot like a funeral, and it's all, lined up. I'm wondering if that causes a problem versus, so that's a separate issue that should be taken care of. Has nothing to do with tonight, but it raises the issue of, doesn't the parking lot have to be safely lined in case of emergency and not allow, say, this parallel parking?
They definitely can't block a means of egress or block it in like that.
Okay, so that's something you
Definitely
guys should
can't
look
do
at too. And it was brought up by a resident, so.
But I can't legally require them to line it.
No,
They have to maintain it, though.
I'm just, again, I would ask, is that something the fire department is saying, or the occupancy permit had to say, had to be lined, that, you have a configuration in place of a private parking lot? So
the
that's
only
number one.
parking requirement is if it was residential, it couldn't be tandem. But because it's a commercial space, it would behoove you to line it.
It
But
still
this has
can't be
been around
tandem.
for so long, there's nothing that
Yeah.
requires lines.
Okay, all right, I'm just,
The fire department sometimes requires access. And they usually, if they feel like they're not gonna get access, they will put in a fire lane someplace, but I don't think they normally put them on property.
Well, usually, if there was a problem,
They do
there-
it.
That
what
doesn't have,
Demoulas-
like grocery stores they do because of the amount of people, but I don't know
Alright.
about small commercial spaces.
if there was a problem there, I bet you they'd say, we want
Yeah.
a delineated access aisle, but.
Yeah,
there
but they've
hasn't been
never
a
done that
problem.
for function halls or anything else, so.
function, no.
Yeah,
Function
and
halls
Jojo,
have lines.
Fire truck can't come
Yeah.
around certain spots.
It depends on if the fire truck, how they access it. So if they can park on, what's that, Cherry Street?
Jerry.
And then bring a hose through the back door, then they're not gonna complain about the cars, because they're gonna get through the cars. So, is it smart to do that? Probably not, but, we would have to look at other regulations to verify that.
And just to encourage, again, I'm not saying it's a requirement, but it's been brought up about how some of the new storefronts are allowing access, so I would say maybe a suggestion in the future, pure suggestion is, there's no way to look into the building. If they ever wanted to add windows, it's a cost in the future, but I would say it might be more inviting and part of a better look from Broadway if instead of having that all brick wall that they decided to do, similar to what Tukasa just did, which is they added the windows so that people can see and they actually open.
Actually, we discussed it, but his uncle owns the building, and that would be up to your
Oh,
uncle, right?
Well, again, I'm
We
just saying,
discussed it.
as
Yeah, we
a
discussed it, yeah.
site, as a beautification look, that's all. Just particularly to this application, I support the remodeling or revamping of this, and I would like to see that happen, a nice lounge in the downtown area, that definitely is something that we don't really have. My only concern are the same concerns that were raised not only tonight, but in the past. One, the only reason that the dancing is there was because it was somehow, maybe I was on the council, on the board, I can't remember, but somehow that got lost when it transferred from a function hall into the restaurant. At that time, when it was a function hall, yes, you were allowed to have dancing. It shouldn't have been continued post-pool room, post-bar, post-restaurant, post-now lounge. So I think that, to be fair, in order to, if we're going to wait till all the other places to be fair, that should be taken off of the table tonight. The other item that I would suggest is, again, to be fair and just to wait and see, not to have the live music. That's a real concern for the neighbors in the back. And I would say a lounge with a DJ would be fine at this point. I think that a DJ is very able to control the volume of their own equipment. However, you get a band and they tend to be louder than most, and that may end up being a problem. So I would say, baby steps before going forward, seeing how the new door reacts, and then let them come back after the new rules are in place and so forth, and after we have a testing of the sound and so forth. But I encourage the reuse or the remodeling of the place, and I hope that you guys will approve their application tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Did you want to respond?
Well, we always had the dancing and all that stuff, and really hasn't been a problem. I mean, I don't understand what's the issue now that, you know, he's always saying that the people in the back, but I've been talking to Liz, I've been talking to all the neighbors in the back, and I settled that situation is done. I mean, once I get that door, it's gonna be, I mean, there's gonna be no noise coming out of there. And then the other thing is that I'm just doing an extra bar because that bar that we have is way too small to serve all the people that we have. And our establishment is actually, I mean, it's huge. You know, we're not these little bars that are around. We're like triple or quadruple the amount, like the size.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, we like the officer said, we had been having no problems. We always been on our point now. We've been like
Yeah, I don't
doing
think
our
anyone's
job.
sort of pushing back on the extra bar. I think that was actually, I think, a good thing for crowd flow and actually
Yeah.
really helpful. So I think for the conversation we had last time was not really about the bar. I think it was more about the noise. And I think the question that I think the counselor has is, is the band, you know, so I think you controlling for the DJ and you know, making sure that noise is not bothering neighbors. I think the question is, will the live music be the same type of control? Like, is the live music gonna be louder?
Yeah, it'll
because
be
it's live
controlled,
music, you know?
yeah, it'll be controlled and stuff like that. But I'll wait on that and wait for the door to come in, and then I'll start, you know, with that process.
Yeah.
You know.
So what? Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
a question. When do you expect the extended bar to be completed?
Well, they told me it'll take like a month and a half.
Okay.
So.
Other questions from the commission? Anyone from the public? Anyone else want to speak? Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion?
I haven't made all the motions, someone else wants to do it?
So we have three before you. Have the motion to change the hours, the motion.
And
for
the hours are
To
repeated?
start, yeah, so the
At 1
hours are
o'clock.
to do earlier, so like they can make it open for sport, like football games and
Okay.
things like that, to
Yeah.
have it.
So I move on that one, yes.
Motion to approve the alteration of the premise?
Yes.
Or for yours, second?
Okay. Second that one too.
Yeah, and then the third one is for the amusement.
So they've requested on the entertainment license, live music, DJ, which they've already had the DJ, dancing by patrons. Did you do karaoke?
Yeah, we have karaoke.
Karaoke.
Is there room to dance? You got a dance floor?
Yeah.
Under the new plan, there will be a dance floor. It's really.
The old plan didn't have one, you always had one?
Yeah, the whole plan had it,
downstairs.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you guys don't feel comfortable giving me the live music, that's fine. I'll apply for that the 1 day, you know, application event that you guys have.
Events,
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, could we just change it to no live band until he gets the door and situates the noise complaint, then we can revisit then.
Makes sense.
Okay, so a friendly amendment. So before you right now is a motion to allow the entertainment except for the live band music until the new door is in place.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay?
yes.
Great.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, you
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Great.
They did it
Thank you,
alternate.
everybody. Do I
So
want me
this-
to adjourn the meeting and then talk about the date? Or
No,
talk
no, no,
about the
don't
date?
adjourn yet. So,
July
okay,
14th?
July 21st is too late for the carnival.
Right.
That Miss Vega is gonna recuse herself on this.
Yep.
I was hoping to do July 14th.
July 14th is fine.
Is
That's
that okay?
fine.
Can I get a quorum July 14th?
I've never missed one.
Huh?
I've never missed one.
I'll be
I know.
here.
He's such a, show off. So the next meeting will be July 14th, because we want to make sure that the carnival is heard.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Can you make sure that he gets a star because he hasn't taken our meeting?
So one additional question. Cheryl, this would actually be for you.
Wait,
We're not done.
We're not done yet.
So earlier, when you were talking about the clerk's update,
Yes,
and you were talking about that RFP process,
Still
you said that
Flynn,
you were
though,
going
right?
to be asking
Still
to
Flynn,
extend
right?
that.
yes.
When are you asking us to extend it?
Till, so we would give a deadline to the end of August, so we can report to the September meeting if we have more RFPs.
And do you need that approved by us tonight, so
Yes,
you can
could I
get
just have
that issue
permission
back
to?
out?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Motion.
yes.
Second.
Wait, what are we
Yes, you
approving?
can.
I missed that.
Thank
Send an
you.
RFP so more people can apply for
Oh,
the liquor
yes, we did,
license.
yes.
Great.
Good night, smooth night, everybody.
I do
Ladies and
definitely.
Michael.
We're adjourned. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
I don't know.